Hey guys, this time I'm going to show you how to install a slip-on muffler onto your exhaust. The exhaust is a critical component of any motorcycle. Not only does it carry combustion products away from you and prepare the engine for the next intake stroke, the muffler at the end of the exhaust determines how your bike sounds. The stock exhaust on the CBR300 is pretty quiet, and a really fast and easy way to make your bike a little louder and maybe even eke out a little extra performance is to just swap the muffler. For my CBR300, one of the previous owners had put on a pretty loud, no-name, tapered slip-on exhaust. My guess is that it was one of those that you see advertised on Facebook or eBay for like 50 or 100 bucks. When I got it, one of the retention springs was missing, and it wasn't mounted parallel to my frame, and I didn't think it sounded particularly good either. So I decided to swap it out for one of my favorite brands, Yoshimura. The Yoshi muffler that matches the CBR300 is the R77. At the time I made this video, buying it new directly from Yoshimura or an authorized reseller will set you back about 450 bucks. The kit comes with a mid-pipe, bracket, retention springs, spring puller tool, exhaust clamp, sound damping insert, and of course, the slip-on muffler. Installation is super simple. Just pull off the old muffler and mid-pipe, and then install the new muffler and mid-pipe. I started by pulling off the old muffler bracket, released the one remaining retention spring, then pulled off the old muffler. The mid-pipe removal in theory should be similarly easy, just release the clamp and pull it off. For me, however, the old mid-pipe was rusted in place, so it took a bit of doing to get it to let go. With a bit of patience and liquid wrench, however, it eventually came loose. The new one goes on in a similar fashion. Mid-pipe goes on, then the muffler. Just a couple of tips for success. Don't fully tighten the mid-pipe clamp until the very end. While adjusting the position of the muffler, you'll need to rotate that mid-pipe a bit. Take a little extra time to carefully position the rubber guard on the muffler bracket. It's a little fiddly, but you only have to do it once, and doing it neatly will look better and will ensure that it doesn't scratch up the outside of your new muffler. The retention spring anchor points on the mid-pipe should line up with the anchor points on the muffler. If you plan to put the sound dampening insert in, install it before mounting the muffler on the bike. The retention screw is really hard to line up and get started if the muffler is already on the bike, and if you happen to drop it, the screw will get caught in the tip shroud and you'll have to take off the muffler to shake it out anyways. Last comment before we check out the before and after sound of the new muffler. Perhaps obviously, modifying the exhaust pipe and or muffler will change the amount of back pressure experienced by the piston during the exhaust stroke, and therefore will affect how much exhaust flows out of the cylinder and how fast it will flow out. These can affect O2 sensor readings and then feed back into the ECU calculations that also take into account throttle position and barometric pressure. All that to say, if your new exhaust meaningfully affects the exhaust flow, your bike's computer may try to compensate for the difference and end up causing you to lose power. For best results, take your bike to a dealership and have them do a dyno and remap your ECU based on your specific configuration. This is also true for high-performance intake air filters that provide meaningfully different flow versus stock intake filters. In my case, the previous owner had installed a Power Commander fuel control module. This basically functions like an old school Game Genie. It plugs in between the ECU, O2 sensor, throttle position sensor, and fuel injector to override the stock air-fuel mixture commanded by the ECU with a map that was provided by DynoJet, or one that you've downloaded from the internet and uploaded to your Power Commander. Also, you can fine-tune the fuel delivered by an additional plus or minus 10% at each of 3 RPM ranges. It's a pretty neat little contraption. So anyways, here's the sound comparison of my idle sound with the old exhaust, the Yoshi R77, and the Yoshi R77 with the sound damping insert. And here's the same comparison except while revving. I think the new exhaust looks and sounds great. Feel free to drop a comment letting me know which one you think sounds best. For now, I'm going to leave the insert in because I don't want my neighbors to hate me when I roll out of the neighborhood in the early morning or late at night. That's it for this time. Thanks for watching.